Saturation plugins. So these are the ones that you don't really need them, but they're cool to have. They add that little bit of analog flavor to your mixes. They might make the mixes sound better subjectively, but whatever. I use these plugins, so that's why I'm making this video, to suggest ones to you. Slate VCC. I'll just go through it. So USA is API. The fourth. Oh, what is this plugin? So it's basically like a summing box that it adds a little bit of frequency response change. It adds a little bit of harmonic distortion. If you push it, it adds noticeable harmonic distortion. But basically, it's like if you were to send your tracks into the line input of large format mixing consoles. And the way it works is you put channel at the beginning or sometimes the end of your plugin chain, and then you put this one on the master bus. Do you need it? No. Do I like it? Yes. And speaking of which, do you need a tape plugin? No. Do I like having a tape plugin? Why is this not stopping? Oh, because it's off. Do I need this? No. Do I like it? Yes. What I like it for is that a lot of times it will smooth out the sound. It'll make the sound bigger. So it adds like a extra sound stage to the audio. So this plugin, just like VCC, gets used on individual tracks and the mix bus. I don't recommend using it on bass guitar or bass instruments in general, but for everything else, definitely check it out. But I will say this, and I don't own this plugin, but if I didn't have Slate VTM, IK Multimedia's tape plugin is the one that I would recommend getting over Slate VTM. And that's actually very big for me to say that, because for the longest time, I've had this plugin. There's nothing wrong with this plugin. It's just that this one has more variety. It's a little bit more versatile. I don't like that the GUI is crammed. I think that they gave too much space to the tape reels. But besides that, I think it just sounds better. I think it sounds more realistic. It's using more modern processors. You have to remember VTM, I believe, came out in the year 2012. So, these newer plugins, they're kind of like, look, people have i7 processors that are like, 4th generation or higher, and they're taking advantage of that. So yeah, you know what? This plugin uses a crap ton of CPU compared to VTM, and maybe that's why it sounds better. I don't know, but I'm just saying, between the two plugins, I would get the IK Multimedia one. Okay. If you don't have the money for Slate VCC, actually I shouldn't say that, because this plugin will only be free until September 15th, 2019. But afterwards, I believe there will be a freebie version that does not have the mojo or the high pass filter. But what is this? It's just like Slate VCC, but without the mix bus plugin. So you have your Neve flavor, you have your API, and then this one is something that you can't find on Slate VCC, which is the German Telefunken tube desk. I mean, there is the RC desk, but, I don't know if they're the same thing or not. Bottom line is, this plugin's cheaper than Slate VCC. Where's it at? There it is. Front DAW from Sound Device Digital, and it has a resizable GUI, so that's always neat, right? All right, now we'll go to the acoustical audio plugin. So this one is from Pink, and it has a ton of features. I'll just show them on screen. These are what they're emulating, and it doesn't come with this. I had to make this customized, but yeah, that's, you just pick which ones you want, and it loads them up. Very similar to Slate VCC. And so is this. Now, ignore the things on the sides. And, this is just the stuff in the middle right here. So you can choose from a variety of microphone inputs or line inputs, or they have the group buses. Neve flavor. Reamp. Clevgran, they make cool little plugins, and Reamp is one of them. You can have different type of saturation, mainly tube. But yeah, interesting little plugin. And I reviewed this one when it first came out. And I mean, I don't really use it that often, but if I need another flavor of saturation, this is a cool little one to go to. All right, now this is one I have towards the end of the list, but only because I do not own it. So at some point, I will purchase this plugin because I do believe that it is possibly one of the best, if not the best, subtle saturation plugins out there. And I say it's subtle, but it can be not so subtle. And to me, it really reminds me the most of sending something through real hardware. And, the other plugins do that too, but not to the extent. There's something about this plugin, True Iron, that I like a lot. And like I said, I will probably get this around the Black Friday sales time because it's something that I don't really need, but I want it. You know what I mean? All right. Getting down to the last two. Magenta has its own preamp module, and it's, Manly Labs, different things. I don't really use it that often, but again, it's there, and it's a part of the Magenta suite, and I use it usually when I'm using the EQ. But yeah, it does have the different flavors by themselves. And finally, oh wait, I already talked about this. Never mind. I'm really tired when I'm recording this, so yeah. Anyway, the tape plugin from T-Rax from IK Multimedia. What can I say other than try it out, try it against Slate, and see which one you like the best personally.